everyone, tuning in to Ecosummit London in the beautiful Crystal Siemens building where we are celebrating the Smart Green Business Network. And as you can hear, there's a lot of networking and talk going on as we are doing a deep dive into what's happening in the clean tech world. How can we become more resource efficient and make the world a better and greener place? So stay tuned and stay updated on what's coming up next. What were the changes that you've gone through in the last few years, and what is it that you're experiencing at Ecosummit that makes you keep coming back?
Well, the changes personally, professionally are that I've been working at Rockstart for 2 years, coaching startups full-time in getting them from ideas to first funding. And after 2 years of, let's say, full-time hands-on coaching of startups, I wanted to move on more working with startups from an investor role. The Dune Foundation was one of the investors in Rockstart, and therefore they asked me to come and join them and basically do the same thing that I already did, but combine advice with a little bit of money, which makes life easier. And so that's what I did a couple of months ago, and then I was in Berlin already knowing that I would join Dune Foundation. I like the Ecosummit for the fact that it's sort of a physical marketplace of, you know, startups and capital all coming together. And on the other hand, I found that Dune Foundation is not well known enough in, let's say, the European startup scene. So I thought it would be good to put Dune on stage. And the Ecosummit is a very logical stage to do that. So I asked Jan if it was possible to sponsor him, which of course it was. So that's why I'm back here now from Dune. But we have been missing in the past 10 years of funding hundreds of, let's say, clean tech related companies, at least in the Netherlands, is companies that are really innovating in the energy efficiency area. So how to make sure we use less energy instead of just renewable energy generation. And so we are actively looking at more companies innovating in that area. It's not that nothing is happening there, of course there is, but only 10% of our investments went into energy efficiency, and we would love that percentage to go up. So that's where I am at least looking for new opportunities and also hoping to find them.
So what do you think needs to happen in order for them to get to the status quo or to change the status quo? What do you think, what inputs need to happen?
Yeah, I think at the moment the key one is funding. I think venture capital investment in clean tech in Europe has gone quite low over the past couple of years, and I think that's the biggest challenge that the industry faces today. I think that the past 10 years the clean tech companies haven't provided the returns that VC investors would have hoped, but I think today we're operating in a very different environment where these entrepreneurs are getting into markets that are at pivotal stages, and it's exactly the time when these investors should be doubling down, not shying away.
So what do you think the returns are going to be in the future?
It's difficult to say. I mean, I'm not an investor myself, but what I would say is that I think that as an industry, we're energy industries, we're reaching kind of points of kind of cost parity with the grid. I think that the quality of the entrepreneurship and the lessons learned are really strong, and I definitely believe that for the investors that are getting to get in today, I think there are good opportunities for them to get good returns. I think at the moment, I would say that we've got a very healthy network of organizations that are supporting companies at the very early stages. We have a very healthy set of kind of incubators, accelerators. I would say that corporates are getting much more involved. I think it's actually kind of the venture capitalists who can fill that gap in the middle that are kind of needing to kind of step up and get more active in this space.
In general, we invest in three different areas. One is energy generation and energy storage. Food and agriculture, as we just discussed, is definitely one of our interest areas. And then more efficient industrial processes and all the innovative software companies that don't fit into any of those categories but are at the interface of these connecting them. And so we are looking, I would say, for a smart hardware component that has a software layer on top to monetize the hardware in a smart way. So one example for that would be Zon battery, for example.
Was there anyone here that you think that could fill the 16th spot here at Ecosummit London?
that's a trade secret.
Yeah, biological methanation is actually an ancient process that has been around for about 3.5 billion years and is performed by a group of organisms called the archaea, which look like bacteria, but they're not. They're long and skinny. They're about a half a micron in diameter and about 5 to 10 microns long. And they have a little engine inside them that actually does reverse combustion. They can take carbon dioxide, which is one of the main products of combustion that's now in our atmosphere, and they use it as a resource, as what's called an electron acceptor, and they take an energy source like hydrogen or sometimes reduced metals, and they take an electron and they convert it over to this carbon dioxide and reduce it to methane. So carbon dioxide is a carbon and 2 oxygen, methane is a carbon with 4 hydrogens on it, and they actually do that reaction 4 times and they release methane into the environment. So they make a fuel for us, and they can do that in a virtuous carbon cycle.
We really believe in electromobility and renewable energies. And we have developed mobile batteries. So you see this, these are mobile batteries, lithium-ion batteries on wheels, which are easily connectable to the grid and all electric cars. And what I really love about Nomads, this is like unique multifunctionality. So you can recharge your car, so this is fast charging, no infrastructure needed, and even while driving. Then you have like a range extension, so just take a Nomad, go to the highway and take a drive to your friends or the family, and then you drop it off and you have your unlimited range or extended range. And then of course, very important are renewable energies, so store your photovoltaic energy. So if you have a house, and many people have a house, a photovoltaic, and you can store during the week your energy, solar energy, and then you can use this energy like for your car, for a trip, or share it with your neighbors. And I really believe that this concept can make a big important contribution for a sustainable rollout of electromobility and also for more efficient use of renewable energies.
What advice would you give to clean tech companies? I mean, just a quick synopsis, because obviously if they want a professional behind them, they should come and contact you.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely no kind of quick solutions to, you can't just kind of spend half a day on it and it all falls into place. But I guess my main piece of advice would just be to take it seriously, to make communication a priority, because that really doesn't happen a lot of the time, particularly in clean tech. I don't know why that is. But it's so important particularly when you're developing something that's new and complex. In the clean tech sector, we're building things that people don't know about, that people don't understand, but people don't even know that they want. But somehow we kind of seem to forget about the bit where we're going to have to tell people about them and why they need them, why they're exciting. And that's not just true of consumer brands. That's like for all of your audiences, including investors, which is obviously what a lot of people here are kind of have front of mind. But they need to get excited by your story as well. So I guess my top level advice would be just really think seriously about communicating, know what your story is, and give people something to believe in. Give them a reason why they should care about your company.
This was a fabulous conference. I met about a half a dozen potential investors for our next round of investment. I also learned about some technologies that probably come right up to the edge of our technology that might be interesting to integrate with. And I actually learned a lot about the economics of the European market that aren't necessarily visible when you're an American and you don't know this field. So 2-day conference where I got to see people talk about the markets, talk about new technology, and find out about capital availability. It's an incredible use of time.
Ecosummit has been a great resource for us. We've benefited greatly from this. It's really good for networking, and the quality of companies that are pitching here is great. And I think it's also our duty to help grow the ecosystem of entrepreneurs, and this is one of the ways to give back and support a great event, which I encourage others to do as well.
One of the feedbacks that actually stands out to me was from one of our visitors, and he clearly said he thought it was fantastic the way we set up things because investors are relaxed. It's a completely different atmosphere. You can talk to each other, have honest conversations, get things done. And maybe you can just tell us about what is the Ecosummit philosophy that keeps us going and being successful.
Yeah, I think it was actually Frederick of Etera, yeah, the air quality company from France, and he said, you know what I like about Ecosummit? It's a place where I can meet investors that are relaxed, so-called relaxed investors, because we are creating an atmosphere here at the event for networking that is productive, where nobody is afraid of talking to a new person that they would like to talk to. Everybody's open-minded because people are coming here to network, to meet new people, and they're all open-minded. Yeah? So I think this is really productive and it's really working, and I like the idea of the relaxed investor, and hopefully the relaxed investor will be the investor investing in your startup. Yeah, and maybe in some cases it's a good idea if they are more relaxed than usual.
Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, you basically heard it. So we hope to see you in London 2016 because it's awesome.
On the 11th of October, we will meet again at the Ecosummit London 2016 at the Code Note.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be bigger and better than here.
And there
Keep
we go.
on watching Ecosummit TV and keep on joining our events. Yeah.
Yeah.